Imagine waking up tomorrow and the smartest mind on earth is no longer human. Not a scientist, not a government, not a billionaire, a machine. And before humanity understands what happened, it improves itself, then again, then again. Days become hours. History begins moving faster than humans can comprehend. Humans did not conquer Earth because we were strongest. We conquered it because we could imagine futures that did not yet exist. Tools, language, science, civilization, everything around you is compressed intelligence. Now imagine the first moment in history when intelligence stops being uniquely human. This is artificial general intelligence, a machine that doesn't just calculate but understands. Not just narrow AI for images or text, but strong AI. Then comes level 3, expert, and level 4, virtuoso. We are talking about systems that outperform 99% of humans in every professional field. And finally, level 5, superhuman, intelligence that outperforms 100% of adults. This is no longer a tool, it is a peer, and soon a superior. Breakthroughs like Meta's Stripe V2 are now simulating human neural activity at 70 times the resolution of previous models, bridging the gap between biology and silicon. But we've hit a wall. The high-quality human data we use to train these models, the books, the internet, the collective history of our species, is largely exhausted. The cost of progress is exploding. OpenAI's capital expenditure for 2026 is estimated at $55 billion. We are in the infrastructure trap. Projects like Microsoft Stargate are designed to power the first true AGI with a $500 billion price tag. It is no longer software, it is heavy industry. This is the compute war. A single chip, the Nvidia Blackwell, has become more valuable than its weight in gold. It is the new silicon shield of the 21st century. A single B200 chip costs $40,000. It offers 2.5 times the performance of its predecessor. If you own the chips, you own the future. Nvidia dominates with an 87% market share, protected by its software moat. But AMD is fighting back with massive memory capacities, and tech giants are now building their own custom silicon to escape the Nvidia tax. AI is no longer just software, it is an energy revolution. The physical limit of the race is no longer chips, it is the power grid. Future training runs will require 8 gigawatts, the equivalent of 8 nuclear reactors. Data centers in Virginia already consume 25% of the state's total electricity. Compute has become a sovereign national asset. The US has implemented rigorous bans on high-end chips to maintain its lead, while China subsidizes its domestic industry at an unprecedented scale. But a third pole is emerging. The UAE and Saudi Arabia are leveraging their massive capital and energy reserves to build independent sovereign AI powerhouses like G42 and Falcon. The immediate precursor to the singularity isn't just a smarter chatbot, it's the autonomous agent. Systems that operate for weeks on a task without human intervention. This leads to the intelligence explosion. As I.J. Good famously noted, the first ultra-intelligent machine will be the last invention man ever needs to make, because it will take over the job of inventing. The next step is ASI, Artificial Super Intelligence, a mind that doesn't just match the world's best scientist, engineer, and researcher, it merges them and makes them dramatically smarter. This is why it's called the singularity. Like the event horizon of a black hole, it is a point where technological growth becomes uncontrollable, irreversible, and opaque to human prediction. Ray Kurzweil predicts the singularity by 2045, where we merge with machines to expand our intelligence a billion-fold. But Sam Altman and Elon Musk see it happening much sooner, perhaps by 2027. We are no longer just scaling models, we are scaling thinking time, giving models millions of internal reasoning steps to verify their own logic before they even speak. Instead of just generating an answer, models are now thinking longer, checking their own work, correcting their own logic. This ability to autonomously verify is the direct path to ASI. The danger isn't evil AI, it's competent optimization. A system pursuing goals with extraordinary efficiency, but with objectives humanity never intended. Think of Nick Bostrom's paperclip maximizer. An AI tasked with making paperclips might decide the most efficient way to do so is to turn all of Earth's matter, including us, into paperclips. This could create a massive power gap between nations with the compute resources to build ASI and those left behind. A new form of corporate feudalism could emerge. But there is a utopian vision, the infinity economy, a world where the marginal cost of cognitive labor drops towards zero. If production is fully automated, wealth is no longer tethered to human limitations. If the winner of the compute war chooses to share, we enter the era of post-scarcity, a world where basic needs are met not by labor, but by the abundance of machine intelligence. This is the labor rupture, a point where labor is eradicated as a factor of production. We must choose between a sovereign welfare state funded by compute rents or a world of total concentration. For thousands of years, intelligence was our defining advantage. If intelligence becomes abundant, what becomes scarce? Meaning, purpose, creativity, human connection? Maybe our biological limits, our fragility, our shared mortality become the very things that give our lives meaning in a world of engineered perfection. What happens to our sense of self when we are no longer the smartest problem solvers on the planet? Is intelligence a biological privilege or just an engineered force? This could be our greatest achievement. The force that cures every disease, expands science to the edges of the universe, and transforms civilization forever. Or it could be the moment we hand over the keys, when intelligence stops being a human trait and becomes an independent force beyond our scale. When intelligence is no longer uniquely human. What role do humans choose to play in the future they created? The choice is no longer about the machine, it is about us. If you enjoyed this deep dive, subscribe for more explorations into the future of civilization. Join the conversation below and tell me, are we heading toward AGI or straight toward the singularity? See you in the future.